All right, so why Amazon seller must treat their first product launch like a championship game. So when you launch your first product on Amazon, you are not just listing an item online. You are stepping into a highly competitive arena where every decision matters. Okay? And I learned this way the hard way. My costly lesson. When I was preparing to launch my very first product on Amazon, I was worried about money. I thought, let me work more hours first, stack up some cash, and then go all in into the launch. It sounds reasonable at the time, right? So what happened is I started working longer shifts, taking more hours. And the more hour I added, the more drained I become, physically, mentally, and emotionally. I was tired, I was distracted, and I started to make poor decisions with my marketing, even with my daily life as well. And I wasn't tracking them right. For example, in marketing, I was bidding too high. My sales was stagnating, but my ads spend keep growing. Money was bleeding out and I couldn't figure out why. And that's when my mentor called me out. He's told me, Justin, launching your Amazon business or any kind of business is like being an athlete stepping into a championship game. You have trained for the past couple months. You have prepared, but now it's game time. And how can you go into perform on stage when your mind is elsewhere? How can you compete when you're tired and overwhelmed, doing tasks that has nothing to do with winning? And that moment really hit me. I realized my priorities were backwards. I was treating my launch just like another task at my 9-to-5 job, not the defining moment of my brand. And I want to emphasize with you guys is this journey has a limited amount of time. And this journey will either make you change your life to a new chapter, or it's going to set you back. It can help you walk away from your jobs. It can help you get closer to your dream of freedom. And just asking yourself a question, is it worth it for you to make sacrifices? Okay. So for me, I make that decision. I started to cut back on my hours, just what I needed to survive. And during that time, I was working multiple jobs. And I also working at the nail salon too. I was tutoring. I was working at the nail salon. I also took on 9-to-5 job. I worked more than 60 hours a week. Okay. So I cut back on my job, my nail jobs. My boss were asking me, can you do acrylic? Can you do more, like advanced stuff for more money? Just additional $1,000 more. But that would cost me significantly more time and stress. I say no. That's number one. And number two, I want you guys to cut down on your expenses. Why is it so important? Every month, you may think that, $100 coming out may not be problem, right? But if you factor in 12 months, that $100 that you've been spending add up to $1,200. And if you spend $200 a month, that is $2,400. Okay. So what I did was I started to cut back on my personal expenses. During that time, I was renting an apartment for $1,000 a month. I cut that down. I moved back into my friend's dorm room, not dorm room, but an apartment where I rent out a section of his living room. And I pay him $200 a month. What does that mean? In that time span of a year, I saved $9,600, right? $9,600. That is way enough for me to spend on my business. And that allowed me to not have to work harder at my 9-to-5 job to pay those bills. You guys see the balance? So my goal here that I want to share with you is your launching process is going to be your defining moment. Cut back on your hours and cut down on your living expense. And remember, if you can live below your means, you're going to have a peace of mind. You're going to have more money to play. And I promise you, these sacrifices that you make today will rewarding you in the future. Just like Jeff Bezos. Most of big company, they don't start in a big office. They start in a small office, a garage. For me, I start in my friend's living room. Okay. But for you, let's say if you have family, it's a different story, but trying to cut back in any way possible. So I came back to the story. I carve out my time, just 1 to 2 hours in the morning before I go to work. I want to put my dream first. So same for you guys. In the morning, your battery is 100% charged. Would you give the best of your hours to your boss dream or to your dream? Just 1 hour. Waking up early 1 hour. Take that phone back, okay? Put that phone away from your bed. Turn off all the notification. And asking yourself, am I making time for my future self? Remember, money only serves the master that is capable. Yesterday, I talked to someone. He said, I want my money make work for me. But he not even deserved my money to work for him. His habit wasn't there. Money only served the master that is feel like it's deserved the money. Okay. So make that sacrifice. Put your dream first. And reserve at least 1 full day a week on the weekend. Let's say on Saturday, reflect back. Saturday or Sunday, full day learning. Let's say if you're on today, please reserve just Saturday, lock in for the next 6 months. That's all. My best 6 months was to learn a lock in. And the result, my focus improved. My PPC campaign like marketing starting to converting. In the past, I was spending money without making money. Now I spend money on marketing and making money. Okay. I could think clearer, make better decisions, and I finally see traction. And this thing not just only apply in my Amazon business, but only apply in your daily life too. Okay. So why this mistake is so expensive? I have seen too many entrepreneurs make the same mistake, okay? And let me show you a mistake that I want you guys to know, okay? Let me show you first, and then I'm going to go into detail. So why I feel like this is so important? Because the topic that I'm going through, it has cost someone $25,000 in lesson. Okay, you don't want to do that. Okay. So let me go back here. Why this mistake is so expensive? I've seen so many entrepreneurs make the same mistake. They try to launch while juggling too much. Some even hand off on their marketing to third-party agency and expert way too early without understanding the basic itself. Think of it this way. Your brand is a ship. Your launch is like maiden voyage, okay? But instead of learning how to steering as a captain, you hand the wheel to someone who doesn't know the route. The wrong PPC strategy will sink your budget fast, and it will mess up the AI, that machine learning in Amazon PPC. I have seen sellers who lost 5, 10K, even 25K because they didn't treat their launch with the focus and seriousness they deserve, okay? And like this girl, she hand the steering wheel off too soon without learning the basic. Think of as you give birth to a child, but you don't even want to raise him. Do you think that's going to be better for him in the future? It's going to come back and bite you. Okay. So same with this girl. She outsourced too fast without learning the fundamental. And in this world nowadays, you will mess up by hiring the wrong people. So what happened is she hired a team from overseas, and they were sweet talking her, okay? They were sweet talking her into all the good thing. Until she got hooked on, that's when they're starting to draining, okay? They start using her account as a white hamster to learn about PPC. They also using her credit card to drain the money too. And these are from a third world country. Like this agency is like from India or like Pakistan. I'm not saying that everyone there are bad, But a lot of people that are struggling living paycheck to paycheck, they do whatever it takes to make money. And that could mean scamming you. And the takeaway here is make sure do your due diligence. Later, I'm going to show you how I vetting people. And you can use this process for any kind of services in Amazon and off Amazon. Okay? I'm going to show you how to stay healthy, skeptical. So takeaway for this lesson, $25,000 lesson, is make sure you do your due diligence about whoever that you work with. And only use trustworthy site when it's come to learning or contracting with people, or only when you get a referral from someone who actually doing it. Let's say if I am doing Amazon and I'm making sales, my credibility tied into whoever I prefer. Okay. Number 2 is so important to learn first before you start outsourcing and delegating. Understand the fundamental as a business owner, so that way you can have confidence and build your business foundation prior to leveraging and outsourcing. Building a brand isn't simple as hire people, okay? You will need to learn as a capable founder, understand the in and out of the business, and before you start delegating. And let's say if you have a nail salon, a hair salon, a restaurant, you have to learn that first, okay? Learn the foundation first prior to delegating. And let's go back here. Let me show you what are the things that you need, okay? So before I go there, I'm going to show a quick example of a bad agency and not a bad agency, but how I scan through and see who are legit and who not. We have to use the eyes of the tiger. And for me, because I've been through so much, I make so much mistake, okay? So that I know. So for example, recently, someone that I know, they recently outsourcing a PPC service, and they are using through a referral by someone else who are selling on Amazon to this PPC service. But whoever prefer you to someone, right, doesn't mean it's always good all the time. You always have to ask the first thing. The person that preferred this agency over to me, are they selling on Amazon? Are they successful on Amazon? Because if they are not successful on Amazon and they prefer me this agency, I'm just going to be failing just like them. Or perhaps maybe they get a kickback from this agency. Maybe that's why they prefer. We don't know, okay? I'm trying to be as neutral as possible. But my goal here that I'm trying to look out for you guys, okay? So now I'm doing investigation as I'm launching on this brand, right? Because I build a lot of website. These are just stock website, like template. I can see this right away because I can scan it. And the takeaway for you guys, before you start doing any major experience like decision, right? Run through it with me. I'll scan it for you. I'll make sure I'll do the due diligence for you so that you don't get yourself into situation where people will take advantage of you, okay? That's what mentorship is for. And when I click on some of the like case study, right? This website is not even functional. You see? They're not even functional. It's just like they just build this website. And as I start to investigate further into their social media, let's see, they have a social media handle. Let me see. So it's called LaunchSol. I'm going to look this up to see are they like, so LaunchSol is not there. These are Launch Lab, is different. So they're not even existing. So they are like a new business. And you never want to deal with a new business. And let me give you why. Think of it this way. You go into an office to see a doctor, right? But the doctor is brand new, fresh out of school. Never treated a patient before because you can see his practicing license. Very new. Would you want him to treat you? For, let's say, a surgeon. Probably not, right? And that's why these healthy skepticism come in place, because no one will tell you to do this, only you. So I came back to this one. As you see, I'm starting to do investigation further. And as you see their posts, very new. Basically, they just launched it last year, like end of last year. No engagement whatsoever. You see? So what does it mean? It's a red flag already. And you want to see a true legit brand, right? You want to see someone that have record. Let's say, for example, if you go into a business like this, you have to see people testimonial to vet. Okay, this is what is the correct one. And same with, let's say, PPC management. So this is what a legitimate website looks like. Okay, you need to see a real people, and you will need to see case study. And you're gonna like investigate further. Are these person legit? Okay. So these are the kind of investigation that I would do when it's come to vetting whoever that I'm working with. And I'm sharing this not because I want to put anyone down or talk back about, let's say, people from a different part of the continent, but I just want you guys to look out for yourself. Because if you hire the wrong people, you are set yourself up for big failures. Okay? Yep. So this is what a true service provider is. And now I show you what a good one, and now you can look right into the bad one and you see right away. Right? Can you guys see? Comment number 1 if you guys have seen the difference now. Alright, so that is what I would cover. And now let's go back here. The launch window, again, the launch window is super critical. The first 30 to 60 days after your product go launch is your moment, okay? But let's say some people may take longer. Some people may take up to 90 days because they have to refine a certain component of their business. For example, like pricing and stuff like that. Okay? And Amazon will give you temporary ranking boosts when you first launch. And we call it honeymoon period. And you can always restart it over and over, okay? And I'll show you how to later, but it's very simple. Basically, you create another listing and just do the exact same thing, and you merge the two listings together. It may be too advanced, but let's say, for example, let me give you an example, okay? Let's say right here, this product has been selling for over a couple months already, right? And right now, you want to restart the honeymoon period. What do? Basically, you create another listing at 0 reviews, okay? And then you're going to merge. Merging is mean like you merging these two together, like merging into like one household. Amazon allows you to do that. It's called parent ASIN. And you will be able to leverage your old listing reviews with the new listing. And then you're going to launch PPC on the new listing only. And Amazon, they're going to presume that, oh, that's a new listing. I'm just going to give you honeymoon period. But you have the leverage because you already have existing review already. So now perhaps you can start fresh with additional data. Okay? Or like past data. So there's always different way to work around. So come back to here. What do you do in this time of the launch is crucially important. But remember, we can always have a workaround. Reach out to me. I'll show you how to work around, okay? I have all the tip and loophole for you. And if you're distracted, burn out, and outsource very soon, I promise you, you will miss the shot. So actionable advice. Number 1, protect your energy. Don't work overtime to save up for the launch. While launching, reduce unnecessary expenses instead. Prioritize sleep. Mental clarity and routine is everything. As you see, I have time block. Have a time block on, so that way it's so easy for you to just follow through. Okay? have a time block is important. That is what successful people do. If you see yourself as successful people, you would have to do what successful people do. Okay? Think of a Lamborghini with a Camry wheel. Doesn't happen, right? A Lamborghini has its own wheel. And if you want to become a Lamborghini, you have to step your game up. Block out dedicated time, 1 to 2 hours in the morning, to review your strategy, managing PPC, and showed up for class. Okay? And schedule at least 1 hour a full day per week to go deep into this learning. Remember, it's only 2 months. Okay? 2 months or less, even 1 month. Own your PPC early. Learn the basic of PPC before outsource. Run your first campaign yourself so you understand how the budget works. Use tools like Helium 10 and Seller Board to track your performance. Don't rush into outsourcing. Only hire agency after you understand the in and out and how to measure your success. And ask them questions. Review every report and hold them accountable. Okay? Reviews and hold them accountable and ask as much question as possible. Make them invest into you. And let's say if you ask a lot of questions and if they don't answer you, right? You just have to like be patient and ask and feel who you can work well with. Okay? And build a long checklist. Have a clear plan. And final thoughts on this lesson is launching your Amazon product is not squeezing between your workshop or handle passively. It's a championship. You train, you prepare, and now show up like it matters. Because that 1 month of focus could be the difference between building a 6-figure brand or wasting 5-figure or preventable mistake. You still have your job. You can always cut back expenses, but you get to one first launch, okay? Treat it with respect it deserves, and you not just launch a product, you are launching your own future. Remember that.